Last week we had some technical difficulties, guys, but we're live. We outside. What's going on?
We had some. I don't know how to work this shit. Difficulties.
Oh, microphone. There was how many microphone checks did we have? And then even when it was working, it was a little scratchy, but we did miss you guys. And we thank you for being here this week. And of course, here is our theme song.
Shake it him. Yo. Mic check 1, 2, it's the rundown crew. Cerise and Donny spitting truth like they do. News on the block, sports on the rise. Entertainment served raw, no disguise. Got the streets buzzing from the east to the west. Every headline dissected, they bring the best.
D, your country may be opening up. It is said that the shutdown in the United States, the longest ever in history, may open back up. What do you think about that, Mr. American?
I'm abroad and I'm watching from afar, and I'll always go back to what I originally said. They voted for this, and everything that's happening it was told. They were told this is what the Republicans wanted to do. This was Donald Trump's plan. This is all a part of Project 2025 to strip and take away all of the everything that helps the middle class and poor. And that's what this shutdown is all about. That they're actually fighting over. They're trying to take away. Well, really increase the insurance premium, and the Democrats were holding the line, but I think 8 of them said no.
But I mean, I don't blame the 8. A lot of people, like you got the Republicans, they're like, oh, these guys are weak. They wouldn't hold out any longer. But this is really starting to affect the rest of the world because, like you said, you live abroad. We both live in the Dominican Republic. And already flights in the Dominican Republic, now, mind you, none have been canceled, but a lot of them have been detained, like delayed. And 60% of the traffic that comes through flights here in the Dominican Republic is from the United States. So imagine, and we're in high season right now, not peak high season, but we're entering it. So if we are being affected here in the Dominican Republic with flights, I can't even imagine the toll that it has taken on the Americans. As a Canadian, oh gosh, there's just so much around this, especially the healthcare, right? As a Canadian, the healthcare is free, and it's beautiful to have free healthcare.
Right.
I'm going to talk more about that in a second, but why doesn't the United States have free healthcare? What is this Medicaid and Medicare?
Republicans, they look at it as a bad thing, but they all receive welfare and subsidies. The wealthy receive subsidies. That's how they, become billionaires. They're subsidies. That's it in a nutshell. They just been convinced that it's a bad thing to have universal health insurance for all.
Right. They say it because it does take a lot away from the bottom line of any government. Canada as well. I mean, and, immigrants or illegal immigrants that go in, they should they receive health care, and they're illegal. So should they get that health care if Americans are, paying for it themselves? Now, in Canada, we can go into a hospital and we can get a hospital visit through something called OHIP in Ontario, Ontario OHIP plan. And we go in and we get a free hospital visit. We pay for our own medication, and we pay for, like, if someone gets a broken leg or something, they pay for their own cast and their own crutches. However, a hospital visit is free. And that obviously does take a big chunk out of the budget for any country. What is Medicaid? Even though it is something that the Republicans are like, no, we don't want to have this. Here in the Dominican Republic, I pay for health insurance. In Canada, any surgery, if it's, necessary, they pay for it. We don't pay into a health insurance necessarily. What is Medicaid and Medicare? Do you guys pay like a certain amount every month?
I worked for 30 years, and out of my paycheck, there were deductions, Social Security, there were deductions, and I would imagine that money is paid towards that. We pay into it. Now, as far as immigrants getting it for free, nobody gets free Medicaid or free Medicaid. You have to qualify for it. And that's one thing that I take my hat off to for Republicans. They're excellent at just lying and convincing people that, that everybody and everything is the boogeyman. And the Democrats, who I'm no fan of, they don't know how to simply say that's a lie. They're lying, and here's the proof. I don't. That's something I don't understand. But nobody gets free Medicaid or health care in America. You can't be denied. You can't be denied if you walk into an emergency room. They have to treat you. That's any and everybody, to include immigrants. That's anywhere.
Okay. I just pulled it up. Medicare is a federal health insurance program primarily for people who are 65 and older, for younger people with certain disabilities, and people with end-stage renal disease like permanent kidney failure requiring dialysis or a transplant. It has 4 different parts, which is Part A, hospital insurance. So that's like inpatient care. Part B, medical insurance, doctor visits, outpatient care. Part C, Medicare Advantage. So private insurance plans that can provide Part A and Part B, which I don't get that because it probably seems like if you have a private health care, then you'll maybe get a better care in Part A and B, whatever. And then Part D, prescription drug coverage. You generally pay into Medicare through payroll taxes during your working years, like you were saying. And it's available. Yeah. And it's available regardless of income level once you're eligible. Now, Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that provides health coverage to low income individuals and families, pregnant women, children, elderly people, and people with disabilities. Eligibility and benefits vary by state, since each state administers its own program within federal guidelines. Unlike Medicare, Medicaid is based on financial need, and there's typically little to no cost to enrollees. Some people qualify for both programs, called dual eligibles, usually low-income seniors or people with disabilities who meet both programs. This to me should be an outrage for Americans. Americans, the empire of the world, should have free Medicare, free Medicaid, whatever, free health care. Do you know there's some countries around the world that have free health care and America doesn't? This has stumped me for years. I can't believe it. And now the government shuts down over this.
It all boils down to, it all comes back to full circle that billionaires don't pay taxes. If billionaires paid their taxes, and we're not talking a lot of money. But if billionaires paid their fair taxes, America would be a much better place. But the elites have convinced poor and working class people argue for rich people and billionaires not to pay taxes. Why shouldn't they pay taxes? They built those businesses and they employ people. Yeah, and they benefit from those benefits financially, and I don't try to figure it out anymore. I simply just pack my bags and move to the Dominican Republic.
Right. I will say, why do people pay taxes in any case? Other countries should be taxed in order to enter their goods and services into another country. The United States of America, a lot of people consume products that are made from China, that are made from other parts of the world. And, I do believe that if you guys put more tariffs on other countries, those tariffs can pay for infrastructure. Those tariffs can pay for certain programs.
Trump, in the scope of things, when you compare all the presidents, he's illiterate. He's illiterate. Basically, in the United States, we don't build anything. We don't produce anything in the United States. That's why we can't afford to charge anyone tariffs, because we don't export. What do we export in America? Nothing. We depend on everybody else to send us things. And that's why it doesn't make sense to put tariffs on anyone, because we don't build anything. We would get the cars we buy, the car parts we buy, the computer chips, the cell phones, everything that we buy in America is going to go up as a result of tariffs.
But this is the thing. There is something called cryptocurrency, okay? People are buying into cryptocurrency and it has absolutely nothing backing it up. Right. Cryptocurrency has absolutely not one commodity. Like, there's nothing, and it actually takes up a lot of energy, but people are buying into it. So I look at the same thing when it comes to the United States. It's kind of like crypto, where it has nothing backing it up. It doesn't have as much gold. It doesn't have as much oil. It doesn't have, like you said, a lot of manufacturing going on. So it's not really competing as highly as a lot of people think it is. But they have a lot of clout. The United States has a lot of clout. It's been empowered for so many years. And if you guys do start purchasing steel and purchasing things from other parts of the world and building within your own country, then absolutely you guys will have something to offer. But none of that can ever be achieved without AI. This is an AI war.
The Republicans hurt the people. Because you can't take away. They want to take away our health care.
Right.
Like me, for example, I pay $900 a month for my health care, which is ridiculous.
That's not health care. What are they taking away? That is not health care. Canada has health care.
Right.
We don't pay $900 a month.
In America, I pay $900 for my health care.
Wow.
If the Republicans have their way, I will be paying $3,000 a month for my health care.
See, now
that's what it's all about. That's why Democrats are holding the line for that.
And so why buy health care then?
Exactly. You can't afford it.
Right.
No one can afford it. And that's what the Republicans want. They want everyone to die. They don't want, people don't believe that. People don't believe it. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. It doesn't take a rocket science to say, if you take away my health care and I have stage 3 cancer and I'm battling it, it could become stage 4. But you take away my health care, I can no longer treat my illness. And what's going to happen to me? You know how many people in the United States that are suffering from cancer, kidney disease, that are on dialysis, that are diabetic, that their insurance they would not be able to afford their insurance. Well, what happened to those people? They would die. Okay.
Okay.
They would lose their homes. They will lose a lot of properties and businesses. And who comes in and scoops it up at dirt cheap prices? I mean, you have to understand.
I see what you're
what's going
saying.
on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. 100%. I see what you're saying, but I don't understand how it got to that point where people are paying $900 a month for, like, that's more than my rent right here in my beautiful 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bathroom.
If I had a family,
like,
if I had a family, I would not be able to afford health care for my family, because family is double. It's like $2,800 for a family of 4. That would be like me, my wife.
Who owns, not to cut you off, but who owns, like, who do these payments go to? Does it go to the federal government?
No, it goes to the elite, the wealthy and the elites, the people that own the insurance companies. And that's why our government, our government will not stand up to these people, because they pay big money to say, shut up. We got you elected. And if you don't shut up, we'll have you unelected.
So clearly, and you guys be easy on me in the comments. I know some people are going to be like, she's so stupid. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not American. And I just started to pay for health care here in the Dominican Republic 7 years ago. And I pay $80 a month, Canadian. I think that's expensive. And I'm like, that's expensive. And they raise it sometimes, and it's like, why are they raising it? I don't even use it. Now I will be, like I said, at the end of the month, but why are people spending $900 a month? It's who are you standing up to?
Look, okay, maybe let me put it in perspective. Let me say this. Okay. When I was working with the sheriff's department, my health insurance was $68 a month.
Okay.
The sheriff's department covered my health care.
Okay.
So now that I'm retired, I'm responsible for my own health care. Now, you either pay it, or you can. It's like a crapshoot. Maybe you won't ever get sick. But me, 5 years before I retired, I was diagnosed with cancer. Since then, I've battled a second cancer. Had 2 bouts with cancer. So if I didn't have health insurance, I'd be dead. If I didn't pay, I could say, fuck, the 900, I'm going to buy me a nice car with this, buy me a car and a motorcycle and take me a couple of vacations with this $900 a month. Or I can be responsible and pay for some health insurance. They say it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Unfortunately, I'm in the United States, and if you want to live, this is what I have to pay. I have to pay that $900, because if I get sick, I can go to my urologist. I can go to my whatever to get fixed.
Right. Do you pay for health insurance here?
Yes.
How much do you pay here a month?
Right around what you said, 80. It's like 80. I'll say $82, $83 a month.
And so what
I'm literally over-insured, but if I'm here and I, step on a tarantula and he bites me, I need to go to the hospital and get fixed.
Right. But your American insurance won't take care of you here, correct?
No.
Okay. You pay, you live here, you live there, so you're back and forth from the United States in here. So you have to pay 2 health insurances.
Yes.
Okay. So Now, just to get this straight, I mean, I'm asking these questions because I'm very curious as to why a whole entire empire would shut down for over a month. And then, 8 Democrats are like, hey, this is just going on a little bit too long. And they're going to be opening back up probably today as you guys are watching this video. When they open back up, they're not opening up with any agreement except to maybe vote in the future about healthcare. So they didn't get what they want.
So let me this will give you a clear understanding as to what's going on with the 8 that switched over, and now they want to vote and hope and not hold out any longer. Okay. Do you see the elections we had last week where New York, it wasn't close. Everybody that ran against a Republican won and won big, right? They won and won big. Why? Because of this administration and the way they're doing things. Everything is expensive. They're trying to take away the health care. Everybody's disgusted. Even the people that voted for Trump are sped up, and that's why they voted Democrat. So now, why all of a sudden are these 8 Democrats switching? It makes absolutely no sense when the American people just showed you, we're behind you guys holding out. That was their way of saying, we're holding out. The government's shut down because you guys are trying to do all of this funny business. And we're showing that we're supporting you by voting these guys out of office. So why do you think those 8 are going in there? You know why? Because going back to what I said, their donors, the people who send them big money, are saying, let's get this shit over with. We want this over with. If you want our money, you need to, you guys need to do X, Y, Z, and ABC. If the American people are voting and telling you that we're not happy, and this is our way of showing you that we're unhappy, why are you that a week later, not even a week later, a few days later, you get 8 Democrats get up and say, we need to open up the government. We need to end this now. Completely ignoring what the voters just did. We call those blue dog Democrats. They're really not Democrats. They're on the fence. They live in states where Republicans will vote for a Democrat and vice versa. That's what we call him, blue dog, like Tim Kaine. He's he's a Democrat on paper, but in actuality, he's a hardcore Republican because he always votes with the Republicans. I think he's the one that the Voting Rights Act. We could have had a Voting Rights Act. He voted against it, and there was another one, the Civil Rights Act. I think he voted against. I know there was two things that he voted against, which were Democrat, heavily supported and favored by Democrats and their voters. Right. So these people the 8 people that got up and said, "Let's go, we want to get this over with," they were told by their donors to end this. If you want our money come election time, then you need to convince these people to vote, and that's what they're doing.
Okay, so is it possible that they also are like, okay, well, a lot of the Democrats are in now, so we can move forward with opening up things because we have a little bit more power now?
I don't think so. I don't think we have any power. I think the Republicans have all both sides of the government. They run.
Right. Wow. So this looks like it's going to, only get messier, I still stick by saying that the United States is literally hanging on by a string, in my opinion. And I think a lot of us outsiders, we see that. And then what's going on with the government and, the constituents and everything that is going on, it just really seems like, there's going to be something new, like a new epidemic that they're going to try to start, or some type of new problem where they're going to have to drop a ball on something. Because even the other day when Trump was at the Lions game and, he was doing a little speech, they booed him. They were like, this guy, no. And they booed him. And a lot of the people who voted for him booed him. Right. And we're talking about like people at a football game. So he's losing a lot of his supporters. Right. He's losing a lot of what's happening. I used to be able to see some, silver lining. I used to be able to see, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, America's giving away a lot of money. America's doing a lot for a lot of people around the world. And then, for all of the years since I was born, America has always been helping the world. And I'm looking at it now and I'm like, that silver lining is slowly becoming darker and darker. And it's difficult for me to understand what is really happening, and why certain things are being touched. I don't know why that healthcare is being touched. Like you said, they want to raise the money, but that doesn't make sense to me. They want to raise the interest payments. That doesn't make sense to me because people just won't pay it. And then those companies will go flat on their butt. People, if they cannot afford to pay it, they won't.
Right. And here's the thing. Here's the other thing. People don't understand. They understand. They just choose to turn a blind eye. Farmers, American farmers voted for Donald Trump, and he took away their subsidies. He took away their, what they like to call welfare. He took it away. They're losing their farms. We buy beef now from he gave, I think, Argentina $20 billion for their farmers, to help their farmers. When our farmers are here suffering, and these are the guys that voted for him in droves. You can Google this. Don't take my word for it. Google it. And now we're buying beef from Argentina.
Right.
We're not buying the beef from the American ranchers and cattle guys that have cattle.
You do know your stuff, but we're going to be talking more about it, guys, on next week's show, because the shutdown is literally just ending. I'm pretty sure it's going to take some time for everyone to get back to work and everyone to get their furlough and everything of that nature. There's going to be a lot more going on throughout the week, so make sure you guys subscribe. Stay tuned. And Dee, tell everyone how to get a hold of you.
Hey, Facebook, TikTok, Donnie Jackson. You can inbox me, look at my videos, look at my content. I have a very nice Airbnb out here. Check it out, make a vacation, and you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. And guys, make sure you check me out online. I have another YouTube channel by the name of Cerise Fairfax, my first and last name, where I talk about random videos, relocation, and also real estate and rentals. So if you're looking for something budget friendly, give me a shout right here on the north coast of the Dominican Republic. And you can reach me on WhatsApp, 829-702-7726. Guys, make sure you go ahead and, Donnie, let them know what to do.
You hit that like button, subscribe button, share button. Just don't hit the detonate button, but hit the button, hit the party button, every button except the destroy and detonate button.
There we go. And make sure that you're good to yourself out there, guys. You deserve it. And yeah, we're going to see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Shake it down. Yo. Mic check 1, 2, it's the rundown crew. Cerise and Donny spitting truth like they do. News on the block, sports on the rise. Entertainment served raw, no disguise. Got the streets buzzing from the east to the west. Every headline dissected, they bring the best. Cerise with the heat, Donny's got the flow. 2 voices, 1 mic, let the knowledge grow. Take 2, rundown, you know the sound. Truth in the hustle, breaking new ground. Take 2, rundown, where the real gets found. Tune in, lock in, it's the illest around. Cerise dropping gems, sharper than the blade. She's the queen of the mic and she's never afraid. Donny's got the stats, numbers on his tongue. Breaking down the plays till the game is spun. They talk about the wins and they talk about the loss. From the court to the field to the Oscars gloss. Keeping it 100, never out of bounds. They're the voices of the people, flipping all the rounds. Podcast waves like a storm in the night. Cerise and Donny shedding pure insight. From the headlines dripping with cold hard truth to the laughs in between, keeping it aloof. So, what you gotta do? It's the illest. So.